The people love terror, and the industry doesn't stop producing because of it. Stories and their monsters are repeated over and over in books and movies. However, what if, beyond the fun, you find out that some of the characters you enjoy so much are real and fearsome and have already made terrifying attacks in real life? Get ready, because this time we will review those monster attacks that, believe it or not, happened in real life. Number 5. It's impossible not to have heard of a Yeti at least once in your life. The truth is that it's a mythical character, and it has been in adorable movies like Monsters, Inc. or many other stories. Its own story, however, is much more inclined to the terrifying versions, if Lakpa Dolma tells it. It happened in 1974. Lakpa was only 14 years old and was herding its cattle. The cold of the mountains of Nepal surrounded her body when something came down the slope, took her, and threw her into a stream. Although she wasn't hurt, she was very scared. What surprised her was a Yeti, and now she was after her cattle while she couldn't stop seeing it. The Yeti beat the cattle, broke their necks with its hands, and ate the brains of 3 of them. Lakpa will never forget it. Her family found her crying, and when they called the police, the investigators found strange footprints and unexplained bites on the cattle. Now, what do you think about this case? Number 4. You may be tired of werewolf stories, but what if these stories are true? It's hard to say, but Texas has its own real-life legend and is the most terrifying of all. It's about the Converse Werewolf. It is said that a rancher had given his son a rifle with the penance of killing a deer in the forest to prove he was a man. The sad and alarming thing came when the boy didn't come back. Days went by with no response, and the old man decided to form a search party to find him. His hope was that he was just lost. A strange noise was enough to get the attention of the rancher, who was already making his way through the bushes to the right place. He ran and ran through the trees, and to his surprise, he found him, but being devoured. His attacker was a giant werewolf. The father's reaction was to shoot him, but even though he released the boy, it was too late. Number 3. The Lake Chelan Dragon. The location was the North Cascades, and specifically Lake Chelan. The story reached the newspapers in 1892, and to this day, there is no explanation for what a group of young people lived through. It is said that one of them was bathing in the beautiful waters of the lake when he felt that some sharp teeth had caught his leg. He began to cry out in desperation for help as he struggled to get rid of that great beast. His friends tried to help him and managed to drag him to the beach, but without getting that monster to release him. They say his body was like a crocodile. It had the eyes and head of a snake, wings like a bat, and even a horrible scaly tail. According to them, its skin was like velvet, but it was impossible to kill it, even though they tried everything. However, they only managed to get the animal to spread its wings and fly away with its friend through its teeth until it returned to the lake and disappeared. Number 2. The following story tells the legend of the Santasan Koi in Malaysia. It is said that they are half human, half animal, that eat people after midnight, and their fangs are like knives. This story, which might sound like a simple tale in the way, was not so for Henry Van Heerden. The attack in Van Heerden was in 1967 when he was hunting in Kuala Lumpur. Amidst strange noises and grunts that he didn't know where they came from, he decided to run away in the middle of the forest, and as he turned around, he found himself with the greatest surprise. There were 2 Santasan Koi, as great as the stories that surround them, and armed. He was shot and tried to attack them again with his shotgun, but it was impossible. They were already too close. He got into his car, but one of the beasts broke a window. However, he managed to start the engine and left one of them behind, but the other one kept hitting the windshield until Van Heerden braked and blew it away, giving him time to flee. True or false? You be the judge. Number 1. The Witch of Guadalupe. It was January 16, 2004, when Leonardo Samaniego was attacked by a witch. That's how he assures it and stands firm in his story. He was patrolling the streets that day when he thought he saw something jumping through the trees and decided to turn on the lights of the car. His surprise was to find a woman dressed in black with a cape and a pointed hat. His eyes were black, completely black, and without eyelids. Samaniego's terror, however, really came when he noticed that her feet were not touching the floor. At that moment, the witch went off and terrified. The car went in reverse. The woman was trying to grab the officer, and he was trying to call for help when he crashed and woke up in an ambulance. No one knows what happened, but the man had no story of hallucinations and didn't take any psychotropic substances. Zero Zone. More than an attack, this story was all confrontation. It happened between Ape Canyon Gorge in 1924, according to Fred Beck. Their story tells that they were mining gold near the canyon, but they heard strange noises. It was him and 4 friends who discovered a Bigfoot. It was at that point that they panicked, and one of them shot this creature. The story was only about to get worse, as it scared the miners so much that they decided to leave the site, but they couldn't. It turned out there were 3 more beasts, and they were planning revenge. They threw stones at the huts, climbed them, and tried to get in. One of the men fired, and they tried to finish them off until the morning came. At sunrise, they say that the mountain demons melted, and although they tried to tell the newspapers everything, nobody believed them.